In your career, you will be tested less by what you know and more by how you respond when pressure closes in. This surprises many people. We're taught early on that progress belongs to the quickest thinker, the loudest voice, the one who reacts fastest. We're taught that strength looks like pushing back immediately, proving yourself in the moment, defending your position before anyone questions it. But over time, reality tells a different story. Real strength shows up as restraint. It's the ability to pause when emotions spike, to breathe when expectations tighten, to stay grounded when stress tries to pull you out of yourself. Anyone can react. Few can remain steady. In the workplace, self-control builds trust faster than talent ever will. Skill might open a door, but steadiness decides whether you're invited back into the room. People quickly learn who becomes unpredictable under pressure and who remains reliable when things are uncertain. When you govern your impulses, you stop being ruled by deadlines, personalities, or the shifting moods of the environment around you. You stop handing your authority over to stress. This kind of control doesn't announce itself. It doesn't demand recognition. It earns respect quietly. The man who can manage himself becomes someone others rely on. Early in a career, pressure often feels personal. Feedback feels like judgment. Delays feel like rejection. Disagreements feel like threats. Without inner discipline, these moments pull you into reaction. Sharp words, defensive posture, emotional decisions that feel justified in the moment, but weaken your position over time. Inner strength changes this dynamic. When you learn to pause instead of react, you begin to see situations more clearly. You recognize that most pressure isn't asking for speed, it's asking for stability. Most conflict isn't asking for dominance, it's asking for maturity. This is where careers quietly separate. Some men spend years reacting, constantly adjusting to pressure, chasing approval, trying to stay ahead of expectations. Others move differently. They slow down internally, even when the pace around them increases. They respond deliberately. They choose words carefully. They let their standards, not their emotions, guide their actions. These men don't appear dramatic, but they become indispensable. Loss of meaning often creeps into a career when effort becomes reactive instead of purposeful. When your days are driven entirely by urgency, you begin to feel disconnected from why you're working at all. You may be busy, but you're not grounded, productive, but not fulfilled. Purpose restores direction. Purpose doesn't remove pressure, it organizes it. It gives you a reason to remain calm when others rush, a reason to remain ethical when shortcuts tempt you, a reason to stay patient when recognition is slow. Character matters more than outcomes, because outcomes fluctuate. They rise and fall with timing, politics and circumstances you don't control. Character stays with you. It shapes how others experience working with you. It determines whether people trust your presence under stress. When pressure increases, character becomes visible. Do you grow sharper or steadier? Do you become reactive or reflective? Do you rush to prove yourself or remain anchored in your values? Quiet strength is not passive. It is discipline. It is the choice to lead your inner life before trying to lead outcomes. This kind of discipline doesn't depend on motivation. It operates even when motivation is gone. In fact, the most important professional decisions are often made when motivation has faded, when you're tired, when the reward feels distant, when effort seems unnoticed. These moments reveal who you are becoming. Outgrowing your limits in your career does not happen through force. It happens through refinement, through learning how to hold pressure without letting it distort your judgment, through choosing restraint when reaction would feel satisfying but costly. Restraint protects your future. The ability to pause creates space, space to think, to choose wisely, to act in alignment with long-term goals instead of short-term emotion. Over time, this space compounds into clarity, clarity into confidence, confidence into credibility. People begin to notice. They may not comment on it directly, but they sense it. They trust the man who remains composed. They rely on the one who doesn't escalate tension. They seek input from the one who listens fully before responding. Leadership begins here, not with authority, but with self-command. This applies whether you lead a team or simply lead yourself. Self-mastery is the foundation of all meaningful growth. Without it, talent becomes unstable, ambition becomes exhausting, success becomes hollow, meaning returns when you recognize that your career is not just about advancement, but about formation. Each challenge is shaping how you think, how you respond, how you carry responsibility. Pressure is not your enemy. Loss of control is. When you stay calm under pressure, you keep ownership of your actions. You decide who you are in the moment, instead of allowing circumstances to decide for you. This is freedom in its most practical form, and freedom, when practiced consistently, becomes strength. Stay steady, stay deliberate. Let your inner discipline lead your outer progress. Career momentum follows inner control. Pressure has a way of revealing what we truly depend on. In calm moments, most people believe they are principled,
patient, and thoughtful. But when deadlines tighten, expectations rise, and mistakes carry consequences, those beliefs are tested. Pressure removes the buffer between intention and behavior. It shows whether discipline is practiced or merely admired. In your career, pressure will never fully disappear. It changes shape as you advance, but it does not leave. Early on, pressure looks like proving yourself, being noticed, staying relevant. Later, it becomes responsibility, influence, and the weight of decisions that affect others. At every stage, the question remains the same: who governs you when stress arrives? Many men allow pressure to become their leader. They let urgency decide tone. They let frustration shape communication. They let fear drive decisions. Over time, this erodes trust, not because they lack ability, but because they lack steadiness. Steadiness is learned. It is learned when you stop equating speed with strength, when you recognize that restraint is not weakness but control, when you understand that calm thinking under stress creates better outcomes than force ever will. The loss of meaning in work often begins here. When your days become a series of reactions, you stop feeling like an author of your life and start feeling like a passenger. Even success feels hollow when it comes at the cost of inner chaos. Meaning returns when responsibility is reclaimed. Responsibility does not mean blaming yourself for everything. It means owning your responses fully. It means recognizing that while you cannot manage every situation, you can manage your conduct within it. This shift restores dignity. Dignity is not pride. It is self-respect grounded in values. It is the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you did not abandon yourself under pressure, that you remained aligned even when compromise tempted you. In professional environments, dignity stands out. People feel it before they can describe it. They sense when someone is not scrambling for approval or reacting defensively. They notice when someone listens fully, speaks thoughtfully, and responds without hostility. This presence builds influence naturally. Influence earned through steadiness lasts longer than influence demanded through force. Authority imposed creates compliance. Authority embodied creates trust. Trust compounds. Over time, those who remain calm become reference points. When tension rises, people look toward them. When decisions feel uncertain, their voice carries weight, not because they are loud, but because they are consistent. Consistency requires discipline. When motivation is gone, no one feels composed every day. No one enjoys restraint in moments of irritation. Discipline shows up precisely when ease disappears. It is the decision to act in alignment with long-term character rather than short-term emotion. This is how limits are outgrown. Limits are often mistaken for external barriers, organizational ceilings, difficult managers, slow advancement, but many limits are internal. They are habits of reaction, patterns of impatience, tendencies toward defensiveness that quietly restrict growth. When these patterns are addressed, capacity expands. Outgrowing your limits means becoming someone who can hold more pressure without becoming smaller inside. It means increasing your tolerance for complexity without losing clarity. It means remaining humane even when systems feel impersonal. This is inner leadership. Inner leadership is the practice of governing your thoughts, emotions, and impulses so they serve your purpose instead of sabotaging it. Without this leadership, outer success becomes unstable. With it, progress becomes sustainable. Purpose over pressure is not a slogan. It is a daily practice. Pressure asks, what will you do right now? Purpose asks, who are you becoming through this? When purpose leads, decisions slow down just enough to become wiser. You stop chasing immediate relief and start choosing lasting alignment. You become less interested in winning moments and more committed to building a life that holds together over time. This orientation changes how you experience challenges. Challenges stop feeling like threats to identity and start feeling like training grounds. Each difficult conversation becomes an opportunity to practice restraint. Each delay becomes a chance to strengthen patience. Each disappointment becomes a reminder to recommit to meaning rather than outcome. Outcomes still matter, but they no longer define you. Character over outcomes does not mean ignoring results. It means refusing to sacrifice integrity to achieve them. It means understanding that results achieved without character often demand a price later. Quiet strength avoids this cost. Quiet strength does not resist pressure by fighting it. It absorbs pressure without distortion. It remains flexible without losing shape. It is firm without being rigid. This strength is dignified. Dignity shows up in how you speak when frustrated, in how you listen when disagreed with, in how you hold your ground without needing to dominate. It is visible in restraint, not reaction. Resilience grows here. Resilience is not about enduring endlessly. It is about recovering quickly without losing direction. It is about returning to center after disruption. People who cultivate inner discipline bounce back faster, not because they avoid difficulty, but because they do not internalize chaos. Their inner life remains ordered, even when outer life becomes turbulent. This order restores meaning. Meaning does not come from constant progress. It comes from coherence, from knowing why you are doing what you are doing, from seeing your career not just as a ladder, but as a place where values are practiced daily. When meaning is present, effort feels different. Fatigue becomes manageable. Patience becomes possible. Sacrifice feels intentional rather than draining. Leadership of the inner life supports leadership everywhere else. You cannot consistently lead others where you refuse to lead yourself. The discipline to pause, to reflect, to choose wisely. These habits shape how others experience your leadership. They also shape how you experience yourself. Self-respect grows when you honor your own standards, when you do not betray your values for convenience, when you choose steadiness over drama, patience over haste. Over time, this self-respect becomes confidence, not arrogance, but grounded assurance. This assurance is felt in how you walk into rooms, in how you handle criticism, in how you respond when things go wrong. It is not loud. It is unmistakable. Career momentum follows inner control because people trust what is stable. Organizations rely on what is dependable. Teams rally around those who remain composed. Your advancement may not always be immediate, but your foundation becomes strong. Strong foundations matter. They support long careers. They allow growth without collapse. They enable success without burnout. They create space for influence that does not require force. As the years pass, those who relied on reaction often feel exhausted. Their progress feels fragile. Their satisfaction fades. Those who invested in inner mastery move differently. They are calmer, clearer, more selective. They understand that meaning is preserved through discipline. As this reflection comes toward its close, the invitation is simple but demanding. Do not measure your strength by how fast you respond, but by how well you remain centered. Do not measure progress by how visible your success is, but by how stable your inner life remains. Do not wait for pressure to disappear before practicing discipline. Practice now. Pause when emotions spike. Choose words carefully. Act deliberately. Let restraint become habit. Your career will test you. It will challenge your patience, your values, your sense of meaning. These tests are not obstacles to your growth. They are instruments of it. Stay calm. Stay deliberate. Lead yourself well. When you govern your inner life, you expand what you are capable of carrying. And when you can carry more without losing yourself, doors open naturally. This is how limits are outgrown. This is how meaning is preserved. This is how quiet strength builds a career over time. And the respect you earn along the way will not need to be demanded. It will arrive quietly, just like the strength that created it, comforting.